Let's welcome back to the show former Trump economic advisor Steve Moore and Mitch Roschelle of Macro Trend Advisors. Good to see you both, gentlemen. Okay, Steve, first to you. The Supreme Court next week. 2 cases against Biden's $400 billion student loan bailout. The far left, the media, they try to say it's perfectly legal. Is it?
I'm not a constitutional scholar, but I'll say this, that as I read the Constitution, it's the Congress that has the authority to appropriate money. This was never approved by Congress, Liz. So you tell me, how in the world can the president assert the unilateral dictatorial power to do this? I say no. I hope the Supreme Court does as well.
What do you think, to what Steve just said, Mitch? What do you think? You know, Biden's bailout has already been defeated in federal court, to what Steve said, as because it's basically unconstitutional. Do you think the Supreme Court is really going to uphold it?
You know, unfortunately, the Supreme Court has become this political vessel as opposed to interpreters of the Constitution. So who knows? But the thing about it is, Liz, this is just more stimulus. And if you look at today's inflation report, you got to ask yourself, why is this administration continuing to try to stimulate the demand side of the economy when inflation is the biggest economic challenge we have?
Yeah, that's a really good point, what Mitch just said, Steve. And you know what? This is why Biden is wrong. This is why it's so ludicrous what he's doing. Steve, he's used the HEROES Act for it. That is for soldiers at war, the HEROES Act. Biden cites the pandemic as an emergency. If it was an emergency, why did he wait 3 years until the midterms to do this emergency bailout? And he's saying he's fulfilling a campaign promise. Everybody knows it was for student voter turnout in the midterms. People are really angry about what he's doing. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, it's a sham that you would call this an emergency. What does this have to do with COVID, by the way? He asserted COVID emergency powers to bail out student loans. Come on. By the way, I'm going to do a quick shout out to my friends at Job Creators Network, who were the ones who brought this case, and I think they're going to win.
Okay, let's watch voters. They're really angry that Biden is trying to bail them out. They're saying what Biden is doing is totally unfair. Watch this.
I keep on thinking about all the people who paid their loan back, and then all of a sudden there's this gift to some other people.
For myself, you know, who's had student loans before, then I will kind of, in some kind of way, I would be like, damn, I wish I would have had it at my time.
I'll probably have that debt until the day I die. I haven't been putting into a 401k because I've been aggressively paying off my student loans.
I'll probably just be paying it my whole life.
How's it going to help anybody in the future that wants to go to school? And then how do you bring the cost down? And that's really the main thing.
It won't bring the cost down, Mitch. It'll raise college tuition up. That's what goes on years now when the government steps in and subsidizes colleges. And Mitch, the other thing too is it is really unfair to the working class. This is not middle class Joe anymore. This is not Amtrak Joe anymore. And that's such an erroneous moniker for him. This hurts the plumbers, the electricians, and those who paid off their debt, Mitch.
Right. So right now, you're supposed to buy electric vehicles. So if you decide to buy a Rivian truck, if you're a plumber or electrician, that's a $130,000 electric pickup truck. The people who are the true backbone of this country that Joe Biden talks about all the time are not college graduates, and they do buy pickup trucks, and they do buy tools so that they can carry out their trade. And we're not paying off any of their car loans. So, you know what? Every one of those people talked about college loans, but the fact of the matter is the backbone of this country don't have those loans, but they have other loans.
Got it. Steve Moore, Mitch Roschelle, thanks for joining us tonight, gentlemen. It's good to see you.